sell them all at once?
Right price.
Right price? Okay. What is that word?
It's an aspen burl.
Where do you get aspen?
North Dakota. North Dakota and Minnesota.
It's very pretty. Some wine glasses? These are yours too, right?
Yeah.
Do you bust these off, or do you?
Yeah. You can buy them through Craft Supply. They do sell the glass part, but they're kind of expensive. I found at IKEA, and they just make them cut with a file and it snaps right off.
Very nice.
How do you glue them to the base?
Silicone, clear silicone. If you buy it through Craft Supply, it's $7. If you go down to the hardware store and get the clear cut stuff, it's $3.
This is yours also? What's the come around?
It's a mountain ash burl.
All right. Am I holding them up? Where is it? Who's?
It's mine too.
Oh, you're
Take
here.
it with you?
Yeah, you are. I'm not.
Okay.
You're all my friends.
Okay. Are these all for Katik?
From here over.
Okay, from here?
From here.
Oh, from here, not these.
That one.
That one is? Okay. These are all critique, right? This is this one? Oh, okay. How long have you been turning?
On and off for 30 years.
Okay. And what's the wood?
Black ash.
Black ash. I think it's a nice piece. It's balanced. It's really thin. You have a lot of proficiency with getting it thin. That's nice. What's it finished with?
I use antique wood.
Antique. Okay. I like it. I like it. It's well done. No, I think it works. I might bring the base in just a little bit. Bring the base in a little bit. Very nice. Do you have any other pieces up here?
Two little burls.
That should be on. Whose is this piece? Hey.
You don't have any way to fix it.
This comes up. Oh, wow. Nice. I love cedar. I love the smell of cedar. It's beautifully figured, a great piece of wood. Is this the urn you were working on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody wanted an urn for their pet ashes, and he gave me all the cedar, so.
You put a little inlay in the bottom?
Yeah, I have terrible handwriting, so
Okay.
I have a membership at Tech Shop. Somebody asked me to talk about this a little bit.
Okay.
And they have a laser printer. A laser device. So I got 1/8 inch different varieties of wood, came up with a logo design, and printed them in a whole bunch of different dimensions, so I can basically drill out the bottom of a piece of wood and drop it in.
Okay. Did you intentionally not finish the inside?
Correct. I wanted to leave the smell,
Oh, leave
the aroma for it.
I like it. I think it's a nice piece.
I still don't know what to finish. That's a couple of spray coats of lacquer. I can't find a finish that I like. Not really sure what to do with cedar. I tried tung oil, but it browns too quickly.
Okay. That's a nice piece. Here's a little box. Here's little boxes out of it.
That's mine. That's my first box I made way back in 1994.
Okay.
I didn't even know about chucks, and I used the jam chuck on every piece of that Maryland. I think I used a sprinkler to make it.
I like it. I think it's a nice box. What would you use it for? Anything in particular?
Stuff.
Okay. For that purpose, I think it's great.
That's what I made just like it. Just, I progressed a little bit over it.
Is there a reason you put a ledge here?
I just thought it looked good.
Okay. I like your lids. I mean, they fit nicely.
Okay, what is
Easy
that?
on and off. What's that?
Okay, what is that?
So,
It's just oak.
I think it's red. I'm not sure.
I like it.
Close. I knew that.
Let's see. Ooh, we have a ambrosia maple. This is pretty. That's a very creative piece. I like the curve. Beautiful curve. works. You know, it accents it, but doesn't overpower the piece. And your shapes are nice, how it comes up. No, it's a very nice piece. And who's
That's my pitiful little thing.
Okay.
It was a tornado tree from a couple of weeks ago, and it's a Radford pear crotch. I'm not big to begin with, and my point in the whole thing was to find the figure and see if I could get the best part of the figure into the piece and not turn it off.
You absolutely accomplished that. And absolutely stunning.
It was
to
wet.
capture that crotch piece in there.
I put some walnut oil on it, and I just left it sitting. And it's been drying since about the
That is really
20th of April, I guess.
very artistic, very nice
I think
piece.
if I sand it, it's really thin. It was thin when it was wet.
Yep.
And see, it's crinkled and
It's
and
moving
crumpled
because it's
because it was
under
dry.
tension.
It was about an inch bigger diameter and an inch taller, too.
And you know what? I like this. I like how you left a little bit of the natural bark. Just to
But
give it
I had to leave that to remind me which was the top of the crotch.
Okay.
And so that's where the crotch, rolls over between the two branches.
Anytime you can capture an event in a tree, like a crotch or a really crazy pattern, and put it right in the bottom, that is fantastic.
Well, that was my point, was to see, can I get it in the middle, can I cut it from both directions and not lose
Yeah,
the actual,
well, you accomplished
actual
that.
figure. So I have the other half of that, because we just split it right down, and so I have the other half, I haven't done anything, but I sealed it, and
Okay.
it's waxed and sitting there and waiting on it.
Okay. How are you going to do this? Are you going to sand it next?
I'm going to sand it and smooth it and make it nice. Because when I sand it, it will, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
So the best feather pattern in a crotch is generally the very middle? Is that true, Chris? Did you say that?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I found.
Yeah.
That's where it's the broadest, or just either side of the middle, but not even as far as halfway out.
Yeah, if you have a crotch log, if you cut it across, and you end up, you'll have two beautiful crotch pieces.
Right, well, that's what I've got there.
That's mine. It's firewood.
Okay, firewood.
I had bother deciding because I found out that it's not allowed to leave the house anyway.
Okay,
So.
you know what? That's a very interesting, very creative piece. It's a unique shape, and you captured the amazing grain. So,
It had been sitting around a while.
okay, for a unique piece, you captured it, and that's the shape you were hoping to get out of it. Just whatever looked good or looked for. Use a chuck to grab inside. You could reverse this and actually do something in here so it didn't show that this was actually a chuck mounting,
Yeah.
and that would finish it off a little better.
I don't want to crack it because
Okay.
it's starting to look a little punky in a couple spots.
Yep.
When I put tongue oil on it, it soaked in. It seemed to actually harden it a little bit.
Okay. And if you want to use some thin super glue on those punky areas, that'll firm it up too. That's very interesting. We
That's
have,
fine. That's cedar, and I was actually going to ask if anybody knew the best way to finish it. That's tongue oil again.
Okay.
And I've mixed it with a thinner,
Yeah,
so
that's,
it would soak in good.
that is really thin.
And you can, at the end, on the edges where the end grain is, the finish looks really nappy looking.
Okay.
So I just wanted to do the.
Any kind of finish that you want to tame down, you can use 4-0 steel wool. Really scrub it with 4-0 steel wool. And then if you have a buffing wheel, a power buffing wheel on like a grinding motor,
Like a,
you can hit it.
wheel.
Yeah, steel wool it really hard and then just hold it onto a buffing wheel. Like just a cloth buffing wheel. And it'll give you a nice sheen. Because the steel wool will get rid of the excess buildup of the oil, get it down to the wood, and then the buffing just brings out the really nice sheen. Now, I've been waiting on this one. This is just, this to me is just absolutely amazing. That was a hold it. This is so creative. I absolutely love it. This needs to go in the magazine or You should submit that to AEW or.
What kind of grit do you go down to in that?
The wood itself, I sand down to 400, and then the final lacquering is wet sanded with 4,000, and then there's polishing after that.
That could be a signature piece. You know,
That's actually a commission piece.
Okay.
A lady my wife works with wants to give that as a gift to a
Yeah.
friend of hers.
Absolutely dramatic. I love that. I love that.
Chris, there's a demo there.
Oh yeah. That's the demo.
There's a segmented piece.
Let's sign up for your demo.
Segmented piece.
Segmented.
Right behind you.
Oh, this one. Okay. Who, Reed Jones?
Mine.
Okay.
Now again, I'm struggling with finish, so that's just polyurethane.
Okay.
But this walnut with cedar, a friend gave me a cedar tree and it was cracking, so I cut it to.
I admire the patience it takes to laminate things like that. This took a long time. It's very pretty.
Thank you.
Do you have any trouble with the polyurethane hardening in the cedar? I've had trouble with the hardening before.
Well, was the other piece of there cedar that you were doing? Was that cedar?
The early cedars,
No.
and then the
They're very
old.
thin.
Yeah.
You mentioned whenever I put the first coat of polyurethane, it turns dark. And then, like he was saying, as you sand and remove the other, it gets brilliant red. So that's
You don't
about
have
4
much,
cut,
you don't have
4 or
much
5
entry
coats.
in that.
Cedar can be really pretty. I picked
Well,
up.
from my experience, it's been oversanding cedar because the heat doesn't crack.
It does crack very quickly. So sand and cedar, you got to keep the sandpaper moving fast.
Cedar burns pretty well too.
That's a pretty piece. You may want to experiment with some tongue oil or seal cell if you want to be more of a natural finish. Whatever you could actually get a pretty natural finish there and just experiment with it. That's very nice.
And then the bottom, again, your points of it shows the chuck. How would you do something different?
Yeah, you could put it back on the lathe and just cove it.
Okay.
Maybe just if you want to create a nice, just a cove.
Okay.
You know, so when you look in there, you don't see like a chuck.
Jam chuck.
Because you can flip, even now, you can flip that around. You can press that against 2 points. Put a little protection right there and then just trim that off. And then just power carve the nub. So you can, if you want to play with it.
A piece of MDF and cut it really good at the same size as the outer diameter of the bolt.
Or like expansion jaws that Chris brought down around the floor.
Yeah, I have expansion jaws. If anybody wants to see those after the event, I can show you how those work. They're very helpful for reverse turning.
I got one of those little pendant chucks and I was trying those things out.
Okay.
Set it off center about 700.
I got one of those.
I love these kind of things. I absolutely love these. These are very creative. So this is a multi-axis turn, just a gradual movement. That's very pretty. Whose is this?
Yours,
Yours
right?
too?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you. I don't know
Very
what kind of
creative.
burl that was. It was going to tack on the burl veneer.
It's like a bird's eye maple. Could be a bird's eye maple. That's very creative. I love the texturing. How you do the texturing on that?
That little chuck, you mount it off center,
Uh-huh.
or you mount your piece off center on the sticky tape.
Yeah. You did a nice job not getting tear out, but you must have had a really sharp point to just get a fun.
I sharpened it up every time I did it.
Because sometimes that'll tear out when you
Yeah.
hit it like that. Very nice.
Is that everything?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Rifle.